welcome back to SlydeBytes. If you're not familiar with the channel, this is usually a budget guitar and gear review channel, but every now and then I break the budget and I do something stupid and buy something really expensive, like today. So we'll get right into it. You probably recognize this if you're familiar with guitars very much. This is a Fender Telecaster. However, this is a very special Fender Telecaster because it's the signature model of my favorite personal guitar player, Jim Root. This is the Jim Root Fender Telecaster. His signature model. This was his first signature model from Fender, and it is just a beautiful guitar. This is like a flat white finish. It's almost has a texture to it. It's kind of cool. It's a really beautiful guitar. So let's go ahead and dig right into it. We'll do some clean tones. We'll do some metal tones. We'll do all the stuffs here in a minute. But let's go ahead and just dig into this guitar. So first off, I just want to say this guitar is $1,549 on Sweetwater.com, which is where I ordered it. Which is where I do most of my business these days because they just take care of me. I actually ordered this because these keep going out of stock, so I actually ordered it ahead of time and they got it to me as soon as they finished the inspection on it. So that was really awesome. It does come with this beautiful, beautiful case here. I don't know if I can quite get it. You can kind of see that beautiful plush red. It's got this really neat kind of like black tweed on it. It's a gorgeous case. And that's really, there's not a whole lot to this guitar. It is a fixed bridge guitar, 2 EMG pickups, you got an 81 and a 60, one volume knob, three-way selector, you got your jack down here, your battery is back here, these are active pickups, string through body, this is a 25.5-inch scale length, you have 22 medium jumbo frets, which is interesting, Fender locking tuners, maple neck, ebony board, dots. This particular signature model does not have the lumen lay or the glow in the dark side dots, so just so you know. Mahogany body, which is a difference from a lot of Fenders. And that's pretty much all the main specs. You really don't have a whole lot else going on in here. It's a very straightforward, simplified instrument. Yeah. Now I will say, a few things that are really cool about this. You do get the little bevel there to make it easier to get your hand all the way up the neck. You do get a tummy cut, so it's not just a solid slab. It is a pretty thick guitar though, so that's something. Otherwise, the medium jumbo frets kind of shocked me. I figured it would have jumbo frets, but it's not bad. And if you're used to Fenders, so this is a modern C-shape neck with the 12-inch radius. It doesn't have that rolled edge that you'd be used to if you're used to Jacksons or Charvels, and so you're going to be able to feel those fret ends, but not a single one is sharp. It's just like what I said with my other Mexican-made Fender. This is made in Mexico. My Fender Stratocaster, which was my first actual like Fender guitar. You could feel the frets. They weren't really sharp, but you could just feel them. And that's how this is. But it's not bad. It's actually not uncomfortable. It's actually kind of nice. It's kind of tactile, and I find myself kind of halfway counting and knowing where I'm going without looking that way. It's kind of nice. That's starting to kind of grow on me. I do tend to prefer a really rolled fingerboard, but this is nice. It's not bad. The neck is a little bit thicker than what you probably would expect. It was based on a Charvel neck. According to Jim, I watched some interviews with him, and that's what he said. This is based on a Charvel neck, and you know, this guitar to me, this feels similar to like my Squier Jazzmaster, active contemporary Jazzmaster. It has a 12-inch radius as well, with narrow tall frets. It's not quite as thin as that. It's a little bit thicker. It's a very happy medium. It feels Fender. I will say that. This neck feels like a Fender to me. Maybe it went to others, but to me, someone who owns 3 Jacksons, a Charvel, 5 or 6 Squiers, and another Fender Strat, it's very familiar. It feels in the hand like a Fender. The medium jumbo frets actually kind of play into that because most Squiers and Fender do use medium jumbo frets from the Mexico or overseas facilities. So I'm very used to it. And it was a very natural transition to me from any of my other guitars, and it doesn't bother me going back and forth between my Charvel or this. So that was really cool, and it's actually growing on me. I prefer jumbo in general, but it's nice. It's a really nice feeling guitar, and it doesn't really have any problems. And setup was an easy thing. I did swap these. These are not the factory strings. These are Ernie Ball Beefy Slinkies, I believe. So a thicker set. We were in double drop B tuning, which is somewhat like what Jim does. The only difference is I tune my high E string down to B. So anyway, that's all the specs and all the stuff I've got to give you on it. Let's go ahead and just do some tones. Let's go ahead and start on the neck and turn some volume back up here. We have all pedals and effects off, and we are running through my Blackstar HT Club 40 Mark II back here. That's on the neck. Let's go ahead and go middle. Lovely. Actually, this thing has a really nice clean tone. Now with active pickups, so you roll off the volume a little bit, it's not really gonna clean it up. It kind of stays pretty consistent, but it is a very lovely clean tone. So let's go back up to the neck for a second. It's a very lovely, clean tone. I really enjoy it. I am finding myself more and more like, wow, EMGs are really, really nice. I was always a passive guy in the past. I love my Seymour Duncans, but this is something. I'm really liking the EMG 81 and 60. Jim has his own signature pickups, the Demonins, something like that, from EMG. They're very similar, like to the EMG 8160 combo, but they are a little bit different in that they're the retroactive, so they have more passive qualities, using active EQ, things like that. They're cool, and I've listened to some stuff back to back, and I've read a lot, and I actually am pretty happy that I went with the EMG 8160 for now, because I really, at this point in my life, I really enjoy the hotter tones, and I like the way it hits the front of the amp. So let's go ahead and just do that. So let's go ahead, we'll start off on the neck. Again, let's go to my high gain channel. Again, nothing else is on. That was the neck. Let's go middle. This thing is vicious. It is a vicious player. It sounds so good. I'm really enjoying like every second I play with this thing. The neck is different than what I'm used to, but also familiar at the same time. It is, again, a modern C shape, so it feels like a Fender. The medium jumbo frets feel like a Fender, but you can feel the fretboard. You actually make contact with the ebony with the medium jumbo frets, which is kind of, in a weird way, refreshing. I'm not used to actually making much contact with my fretboard anymore because I've been playing so much of like Jacksons and Charvels. So with the jumbo frets, you don't do that as much. It's different. It's really cool. It still has all the Fender vibes. People I have said this is like a Les Paul and Fender guys, basically, and I disagree. This feels like a Fender. It plays and feels like a Fender, 100% to me. It feels like a hybrid between Jackson, Fender, and Charvel. The mahogany body has definitely got some weight to it. I don't know exactly what this one weighs off the top of my head, but I'd say a good 8-9 pounds, about as much as a Strat. I usually like a tone control, but honestly, this thing doesn't really need it. You're gonna probably just slam this thing full on and go. That's what it was made to do, and honestly, I appreciate it. I appreciate the simplicity. This is one of the most wicked sounding guitars. I didn't use an overdrive. You want to hear an overdrive? Let's do an overdrive real quick. I want to hear an overdrive now. Let's go ahead and slam the DigiTech Bad Monkey on it, and the noise gate. Here we go. Some classic rock. Let's change the voice down. We'll go middle pickup. Take the Bad Monkey off for a second. It's pretty versatile, you know? It's pretty much anything on this thing. It's way more versatile than what you would think for such a heavy metal design guitar. Guitars are versatile in general, but this thing is a vicious tool of sheer aggression, but at the same time it's very versatile, more versatile than what you think. The clean tones are actually really nice with this. I'm actually really enjoying these active pickups clean tone, and of course your high gain tones are unbelievable, and actually you can get some decent rock kind of bluesy kind of tones out of it. I really enjoy it. This is a very lovely guitar and mean guitar. It's beautiful and mean at the same time. Yeah, I like it. I really enjoy it. And you know, something else about Jim, I really appreciate. I'm going to cover my serial number here, but he puts his signature back here on the back. Focus. I don't know if it'll focus. Yeah, you can kind of see there. Jim puts his signature on the back of his guitars, so you don't have to feel like, you know, it's got Slipknot vibes all over the guitar. It definitely does on its own, but he puts his signature on the back so you can feel like this guitar doesn't have to be, you know, just like his signature. He wants you to make it. He encourages people to make these your own. He likes that sort of thing, and I appreciate that about him. He likes to keep it, you know, pretty low key in what it is, and make it so that it can fit in anywhere, and I think he did a good job. And I think all of his signatures are. There's a signature Tele, a signature Stratocaster. I think we're on version 4, a signature Jazzmaster, and a signature Charvel. And he's also been playing a lot of Jacksons lately. I really strongly consider the Charvel, but in the end, this is the one that's the most iconic, like Slipknot-y, Jim Root kind of guitar. I really like Telecasters too. I've been wanting to get into them more. I have so many Strats, and I'm not a huge Floyd Rose guy. I kind of like my fixed bridges more. And in the end, and plus with the slightly cooler pickups on the Charvel, and I mean like they're not as hot as these. I kind of felt like, let's just start here, and maybe eventually I'll pick up on the Charvel. So maybe in the future I'll grab one of those too. I'm really interested in them. But you know, this is the recipe that cut a lot of the music I like, I love, and I really like this guitar. I highly recommend it if you can afford it. I think it's a great instrument, and yeah, this is a 10 out of 10, 100%, 5 out of 5, 10 out of 10, however I want to say it. This is a perfect instrument. No issues, no cosmetic issues. Everything's pretty well like what I would expect. Yeah, it stays in tune pretty well. My room fluctuates pretty bad. The setup was easy. Everything is simple on it, and this is why Telecasters are like just slightly below Strats to me. I love my Strats. They're my favorite guitar ever, but Tellies are real close because they're so simple and so easy to play, and so they're just so iconic. You know, that's why Jim picked one to make his signature to start with. They're just iconic. They're beautiful guitars, and they're simple, and yeah. Usually not one for hero worship, but you know what? Every now and then, this is something that kind of meant something to me. And again, Slipknot's my favorite band, Jim's my favorite guitar player, and I really just wanted to have something. I wanted to feel what he felt when he was writing the songs that meant something to me. I wanted to hear what he was hearing. I wanted to just put myself in that zone of just feel it, I guess. I don't know how to explain it. It's just something, yeah, it's a musical connection, I guess. Anyway, guys, thanks so much for watching. I appreciate all of you, and I appreciate my wife for allowing me to buy this. It was not cheap. These are on the used market fairly often, so I would keep an eye on like Reverb and things like that if you're interested in one. You can get them a little bit cheaper than this, I think. I saw some around $1,000, but do your research definitely on anything before you buy. Guys, I do appreciate all of you so much. Thank you for being here. You guys mean the world to me, all of you. If you like what I'm doing, you feel like I've earned it, please consider liking and subscribing to the channel. That does go a long way to helping this little channel grow, and I am trying to build a budget guitar community here, or a community at least that helps each other find good deals on guitar, even if it's not budget, but mainly my thing is budget. That's what I like, but yeah, this is just something special. If you guys also are interested, you can find all my original music. All the background music you hear in any of my videos is original by myself, and if you're interested in that, it's up on X, SoundCloud, Instagram, and TikTok are my main other two though, so you can find me at SlydeBytes on all those, except for TikTok where I'm SlydeBytes Guitar. And yeah, other than that, I also have a membership program, relatively cheap, that's just going to go to help afford stuff for the channel. That's really all there is to it. And no obligation there. As I always say, I'm an adult with, married adult with 5 pets, and yeah, I have bills to pay too. So anyway, I get it if you can't. No worries, no pressure. Thank you guys again so much. I appreciate all of you. That's all I got for you for this week, but more content is always in the works. Keep shredding, partners. Be kind to each other. Be kind to animals. I will see you soon with more.